I once heard the word poem defined as an art object made of language. As well as being one of the most concise descriptions of what a poem is that I've heard, I also find it very appealing, although it's not perfect. Perhaps it's too condensed an idea to be useful. Perhaps it's also not specific enough, capturing things that are not poems as well as things that are. Maybe, for example, a novel is also an art object made of language. So to develop the idea a little bit, I could say, when it masters and revels in its own language, I know that is poetry. This still may not be specific enough. There are novels which I would say master and revel in their own language, such as James Joyce's Ulysses. But mastery of and revelry in language does seem to me to be a pretty good description of what poetry is. And anyway, perhaps it's useful and appropriate to think of some novels, as well as other texts, in poetic terms too. Mastery can be understood intuitively, I think, so I'm not going to say any more on that. But with regard revelry, I would note that it can manifest in many different ways. A poem may revel in the musicality of its language. It may revel in the simplicity of its language, or the complexity of its language. It may revel in the nebulousness of the meanings of its words. A poem doesn't need to be explicitly about language to do these things, but the poem Heki Nor by Nate Marshall is. It deals with the phrase Heki Nor, which is an evolution of Heck Nor, or Heck No. The poem is contemporary in both its language and its wider subject matter, but at the same time it's of a centuries-old form. It's a ghazal of sorts. And like all of the best formal poetry, it feels like it could only exist in this form. It occupies its form so naturally, it is as if it is inventing the form itself as it unfolds. Heki Nor. Before hell was an address we knew to call, we were only allowed to utter Heki Nor. The extra Y, as if a question hanging in the air. Can we get some more, Mum? Heki Nor. At the courts, we were picked up or picked on. Can I run in the next game? Heki Nor. When Kanye, with cartographer of our grammar, first album, he told us, "Oh, Heki Nor, that boy is raw." And of course, we all wanted to be so uncooked, so rare. Were we? Heki Nor. Just a bunch of greyed knees and hard heads. Nate and his boys playing manhood. Convincing? Heki Nor.